here's a fake mitten that I'm working on that has a thumb hole already made. And we're going to pretend this is a full mitten, even though it's just a swatch. But it's got a cuff, it's got a hand with the thumb hole, and now we're going to look at what to do on the tips and then how to start the thumb. So first thing is, when we work on the tip of a mitten, especially when it's pointed, we want to make sure that we have it split into two halves with the palm and the back of the hand in two sections. Now we still have to keep it on 3 needles or 4 needles if we're using DPNs. If we're using magic loop or 2 circulars, you probably already have it in 2 equal sections. So I know I have 30 stitches in this sample, so I'm going to want 15 on the needle for the palm and 15 for the back. So we know the thumb is on the palm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to move 5 more onto there. Okay, and now because I'm double points, we need to keep 3 needles in here. So I'm going to split it 7 and 8 for the back of the hand. Now, of course, it doesn't matter if you have the palm split in half or the back of the hand split in half. You could even have both split in half and use 4 needles to work on. I like 3. So now I have the palm and the back of the hand separate. So it's charted on the complicated mitten exactly what colors to use. And on the easier mitten, you just switch to one color for the fingertip shaping. So either following your chart or on your own. Sometimes the shaping is started right at the beginning of the needle. Sometimes there's a plain stitch and then the decrease. So I'm going to do a plain stitch and the decrease on this just because it's easier to demonstrate. But check your pattern because they're not always the same. So now we're working and we want to decrease our mitten tip like this so that this side points that way. The right side of the piece on the needle points to the left and the left side of the piece on the needle points to the right because we want to make a point. We want to make a tip. Okay, so we want to do a left slanting decrease on this side. And our left slanting decrease is slip, slip, knit. So I want to show you how to do that in case you don't know. Because some people do it different ways that don't look as good. And I want to show you what looks best on the mittens and make a smoothest thing. So we slip one knitwise, then we slip another one knitwise. That's the slip, slip. Now we're going to put this left needle back into the front of those 2 stitches together. And we're going to knit, do the knit part. And that's really knitting them together through the back loop. And then I'm going to knit across the rest of this needle and show you what it looks like. 2. Okay, so you can see how that stitch makes a little line that's slanting to the left. And now we're going to go to the last few stitches of the back of the hand. The last 3 stitches in this case, because remember I left 1 stitch plain at the edge for this demo. And we want our decrease to slant to the right. So it's just knit 2 together. So that's really easy. You just go in the 2 stitches together knitwise and bring the yarn through and finish. And now you can see that decrease on the other side is slanting a little that way. So I'm going to bring up a finished mitten again so that you can see what it looks like when it's done. So these are all the SSKs, and you see how they make a line up there? These are done right on the edge because there's no extra stitches between them. So these are the SSKs, these are the knit 2 togethers. Let's look at another mitten and see what we've got. So these, and this went all the way till there's only 4 stitches left and a real point. This is the same thing. These are the SSKs. and there is a stitch in the middle. But the SSKs are right there, and they're black, so they're hard to see. Knit two together is right there. And we stopped when there was not quite a point, and I joined this one with Kitchener stitch. But most of the time I go all the way to the 4 or 8 stitches at the top, and I just gather it together with, you know, the tail and run it through the last few stitches. So that's what we do there. And you do it every round, every other round, whatever the pattern says to you to do. It's usually every round for a mitten tip, because it's, you know, you're up to here and you just need a small point for the tops of your fingers. Okay, so we'll pretend we finished that, and we'll look at what to do on the thumb. I'm just going to bind this off on the sample so all these needles aren't hanging there for distracting us.